Gil just a second to get situated here before we get started.
Good.
You good?
Mhm.
All right, good evening. We will call the Madison County Board of Education tax hearing for September the 9th to order. If Mrs. Brock would mind, would you please read our vision statement for us?
Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity to make a positive impact on our community and world.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, so next on our agenda, we want to, we're going to set our tax rates. So we're going to start, I think Dr. Gillen has a presentation and just some background information for us to get started.
All right. Yes, so I wanted to share with you just 5 facts about Madison County school taxes as we look at our setting our tax rate, just some things that I think are very, very important for, I know the board knows most of this information, but I want to make sure that the public is aware of some of these things. So the first fact that I want to point out is that the board sets a tax rate. They set the tax rate for the portion of your bill. The Board of Education does not determine your tax assessment or even what your total bill will be. We will set a tax rate. So I think that's a very important piece for people to know. Okay. The second fact that we want to share tonight is that we are proposing a decrease in the tax rate for the 21-22 school tax portion of your tax bill. So if you'll look, it's highlighted right there. This previous year, and I'm going by school years, but it was we're talking about the assessment that we the rate that we set in September of 2020 was 63.7 cents. The rate that we're going to propose tonight is 62.7 cents. That's a 1 cent drop. Now we also are adding plus exonerations, which is an amount which is a caveat that the state lets us do for those taxes that are uncollected. But 62.7 cents would be our base tax rate. That's the rate that we're proposing. Again, that is a 1 cent drop in what the rate was from the previous year. The third fact is that due to increased property assessments in Madison County, this is going to cause our SEEK funding to go down, and you see the number there, $1,566,169.89. That's the estimate from the Kentucky Department of Education. Regardless of where we set our tax rate, that goes down. And that's because, if you'll see it highlighted right there, our SEEK funding from the state has a couple of there's several components to our SEEK funding, but two of the components within the SEEK funding are based on an ability to pay. When we say an ability to pay, they look at a district's ability to raise local revenue. So when property assessments go up, not rates, but when the assessments go up, when the property assessments go up from the PVA, the state looks at that and says your local district has a higher ability to pay, a greater ability to generate local revenue, and so therefore they deduct it from our SEEK. Whether we charge it or not, it comes off. And then there is another component there that's called Tier 1 funding, which is our funding that is based off of our property assessments per pupil, again assessments, not rate, but property assessments per pupil. And when when we change our state ranking on that, when we move up in the ranking of our property values per pupil, they take off more, okay? And so this past year we had a jump in property assessments, okay? Everyone across the state had a jump in property assessments, but Madison County had a greater increase in that. And so that led to larger than expected deductions from our SEEK funding for those things, which are the local effort and then also the Tier 1. So those two pieces added together are going to generate that loss of over $1.5 million from our state funding, okay? So that was the third thing that I want to make sure everyone knows. The fourth fact is that, we don't like to pay taxes. Nobody likes to pay taxes. We always like to complain about taxes. But Madison County school taxes, particularly our general fund school taxes that are set by the Madison County Board of Education, those tax rates, you can see right there, if you look at our comparison, the things that are highlighted in yellow there, if we compare it three different ways, compare it to all other districts in Kentucky, there's 171 districts in Kentucky, we are 112th. We are 7.6 cents lower, and when I say 7.6 cents, that was last year's rate, was 7.6 cents lower. We lowered another penny, we're 8.6 cents lower than the state average, okay? Our general fund tax rate was 7th out of the 9 districts in and around Madison County. We're surrounded by 7 counties, and as well we have independent districts, and so those counties we are 7.5 cents lower, or were last year, and if we lowered another penny, we'd be 8.5. And then if you compare us to the 10 largest districts across the state, we have the 9th lowest tax rate. Okay, so only one district out of the 10 largest have a rate lower than ours, and we're 8.1 cents lower than the average. So I want to make sure that folks know that in terms of how we compare with the districts around us across the state, and also those of comparable size. And then the whoops, I skipped that one. Well, it's wanting to jump fact 5 there. Okay. I will leave it alone, let Jeannie see if she can bring it up. Okay. It's double skipping on me when I hit with the pointer. The last one is, investment in our local schools is a wise investment. And I have listed several things concerning that. The first bullet there is we're the second largest employer in Madison County. Okay. And as we look at that, we're actually the largest employer of people who live in Madison County. Okay? Eastern employs more people than us, but they don't employ more people than we do that actually work physically in Madison County. So we're the largest employer, and 80% of our funds that we get in go straight out to salaries. So revenue is jobs, okay? And again, the people receiving those salaries, the people working our jobs, they're the people that live in our communities. They're the people that, as it says right there, shop in our stores, eat in our restaurants, buy houses, buy cars, buy local services. This definitely builds our local economy. It's a huge part of our local economy. And then the next piece right there is we are good stewards of your tax dollars. We've mentioned several times on our administrative costs compared with the instructional expenses. We have one of the best rates in the state on that. We continue to do that every year. And then you look at our per pupil expenses. We spend less per pupil. I feel that our students get a high quality education, and we're spending less than the state average. So all of those pieces pulled together, that's the piece that I wanted to share with you. And certainly you have my recommendation there for a tax rate of 62.7 cents plus exonerations on the real property. So don't know if there's anyone else here to speak, but I'm going to conclude my time. Sit down.
I did forget to ask if we have any audience members that want to address the board on this issue. You need to fill out that form really quickly. If we have anybody here that wants to address anything for the tax hearing, anybody wants to do that? Okay. Sorry, I forgot to mention that when we first started. Okay, do we have any questions from the board on this? No? Okay. I'm just going to recap again, just because I think these are fun facts that I like to continue to remind people of what Dr. Gillum has shared with us. Just a reminder that we as a board, we set the tax rate. We do not determine what your tax bill is. We don't have anything to do with the assessed value of your property. That was number one. He is proposing a tax decrease of 1 cent from 63.7 last year to 62.7 this year. So I know we're all pleased to bring a tax decrease to our community. And this is something too that we always want to remind people of, that when our property assessments are increased, when we collect more property tax, the state gives us less money for that. So in these calculations, the state is going to give us $1.5 million less this year because of the taxes that we have collected on our assessments. So that's an important fact to know. And we do have, our school tax rates are very low compared to the state and those around us. And it's just a wise investment, as Dr. Gillum mentioned, just for our community and our employees. So I just kind of wanted to recap those facts that he brought to us. Okay, anybody else have anything at all to say? No, we're good?
No, I think we've asked the questions earlier, so
Yeah.
thank you, Lori.
Okay. All right, so if we don't have any more questions and nobody needs to say anything, I need a motion to set the tax rate at 62.7 cents per $100 of assessed value per KRS 160.460 and 160.470, plus exonerations of 1 cent per 100 of assessed value on real estate per KRS 134.590. In addition, to set the tax rate at 63.7 cents per 100 of assessed value per KRS 160.460 and 160.470, plus the 1 cent exoneration per KRS 134.590 on personal property. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mrs. Burford and a second by Mrs. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. All right. Oh, yeah, we need a motion to adjourn. We have a motion by Mr. Rutherford. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second by Mrs. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Sorry. Now we are adjourned from the tax hearing.